Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with a blind reaction to the Confrontation Owl House Animatic from KNP. This is a donation reward for Sweet Venom, so thank you for the donation, Venom. And yeah, so this shows in the title that it's an Owl House Animatic specifically focusing on Hunter, and yeah, I guess it's called Confrontation, which might be in relation to the song that's in it. I assume this is a musical animatic. It's 4.5 minutes long. I don't know what to expect. Like with Hunter and Confrontation, it's like confrontation of what? Confrontation, confronting Bellows, maybe. That's the only thing I can really think of. That he'd be confronting Philip regarding all of this, but I don't know. I don't know what to expect with this. I don't know anything about this animatic or the YouTuber themselves. I don't know anything here. So all I know is the character and the series that it's based on. But yeah, so I'm definitely interested to see what this is. It's obviously going to be a very short reaction, but it will still be redirected just in case. I don't want to fuck with copyright, you know? I don't want this channel getting terminated like the last one was. So yeah, we'll see what this is, and then we'll come back here to discuss it. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts. It will contain, I guess, spoilers to the animatic. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers, I guess, in 3, 2, 1, now. So to pad this out a little bit, I'm going to also be talking about what is clearly the inspiration behind this, the strange case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. What is probably one of the most famous stories in history. So yeah, this is clearly, like, the song was taken from a stage production based on that. And the idea behind Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is that Dr. Jekyll is a scientist. He's a nice, kind, like, good-natured person who basically wants to experiment on himself and ends up bringing forth a darker alter ego to himself called Mr. Hyde, who is a murderer and just, you know, evil. Pure evil. And the idea behind the book was to show that everyone has a dark side to them. That everyone has the capability for darkness. And if you do your research, you find out that people did not like this when it came out. People did not like being told that they had a propensity for darkness within them. But it's true. I think that everybody has the ability to become either really good or really evil, and we've seen this throughout history. There have been some amazing, wonderful, just beautiful people in this world who have done so much good. And there's also been the complete opposite, the most evil pieces of shit who have murdered and raped and tortured and, you know, so much more. And the thing is, there are so many reasons and so many things that decide which kind of path we take. From the influences around us to how we react to certain things, to even more things, like stuff like even mental illness. That can contribute to that. It just can. And I think that the biggest contributor to kind of determine all of that is the influences in your life. Whether that's your parents, whether it's the friends you surround yourself with, or just, people around you in school or work or whatever. If you surround yourself with negative influences, you will be influenced to behave negatively. Now, you still get to make the choice in the end, and you can choose to go against that. But it is more often the case that when you're influenced negatively like that, you have a much higher chance of repeating it. And all this story is trying to tell is that everyone has that within them, that ability, that propensity to become that way. That, not saying that they will, and they have to actively choose to fight that monster. Just like Dr. Jekyll chose to fight Mr. Hyde to put a stop to him. It's like you have to make that conscious decision. And yeah, we can see how that can connect to Hunter. Hunter is a Grimwalker, an artificially created being taken from the DNA of Philip's brother, Caleb. He had been raised and trained and influenced to do some pretty fucked up shit. And even after the fact, even after he switched sides, that influence still pained him. It still caused him a lot of strife. And eventually, he was taken over. His body became host to a monster, just like Dr. Jekyll's became host to Mr. Hyde. And just like Dr. Jekyll had to, Hunter had to fight back, to reject that evil that was now within him. So yeah, the comparisons here can be made. Obviously, the situations aren't exactly the same, but the comparisons can be made. So it was a smart connection that this artist went with here. The animatic itself, the visuals were pretty simplistic, but most animatics are. Yeah, they were good. Like, Hunter looked a little older than I feel like he should have looked, if I'm being completely honest, but that's not a big deal. That's not a big deal. And yeah, it definitely connected with a lot of the series, just in general, with his entire character arc, really. But showing it come to a head with the events of, Season 3, Episode 1, I think that was a really smart decision, because, again, that connects a lot more strongly with the Jekyll Hyde story. It helps it really, really come into play there. So yeah, I think that was well done. The song itself, just speaking on that, though the animatic maker has absolutely no control in the quality of the song, they just chose it for this. The song itself was just kind of okay. It kind of reminds me of a very specific other animatic I've seen, just in the style and tone of the song itself. I don't know if you've ever seen, there's this My Little Pony animatic. And it's to a song from the Count of Monte Cristo. God, what is it called? It's like The Winner of the Fight or something like that. Let me see if I can find it real quick. just to get the title. Because it's like, it's an animatic that I go back and watch again every now and again. It's called A Story Told. It came up right away. Apparently there's 6 of them. It's by Ink Pots. 2 words, and Pots has 2 T's in it. But yeah, that's an animatic that I'd seen. I don't know if I saw like right when it came out. What was 8 years ago? 2015? I might have, because I was in the fandom at that point. So maybe 2014, 2015, somewhere around that. But yeah, either way, the style of the song kind of reminded me of that. I wonder if the Jekyll and Hyde musical and the Count of Monte Cristo musical like maybe had the same composer, because they sounded similar. Like, obviously the songs were overall different, but you know, there was a similar sound. So I'm wondering if there is some kind of connection between those 2 productions. Just curious. It wasn't bad, but I wouldn't actually say it's on the same level as A Story Told. I think that song was actually much better for a number of reasons. But yeah, it wasn't bad or anything. It's just not as much, I guess, my kind of, would you count that as a show tune? My kind of musical song, let's put it that way. But yeah, this was entertaining, definitely a worthwhile watch, and I mean, I like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's been a long ass time since I've read it, but I think I don't think I've read it since like high school. But still, and I've never seen any like production of it. I think I saw a movie once, and obviously Jekyll and Hyde was in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. But yeah, I don't think I've read the book since high school. But again, after high school, I slowly stopped reading as much, to be completely honest. I still read a bit in college, but especially after leaving college, I stopped reading as often and as much. And definitely didn't read a lot of stories again that I had already read. But either way, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. So let me know what you thought of this animatic down in the comments below. And thank you once again to Sweet Venom for donating for this. For the time being, though, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.